This video is about I just want to show those who are thinking of getting the little torch. It's a little like soldering torch that you use for jewelry, or welders use for fine welding. um, what happened was this here is the original Smith's little torch. I purchased it 10 years ago, approximately that time, and this is the same thing, but it's the imitation one from the company called banggood.com. I checked out online, right, and I read the reviews. So many people they gave it really good reviews about it, and I was in need of a torch, or actually I was in need of a hose, to be honest. For example, this is the hose that came with the original Smith's little torch. That's the box there. And this hose, right, 3 months ago I just took it from my garage, and I was thinking of going back into the jewelry just as a hobby. I wanted to use this, and what happened was, as you can see, you see the hose, how it's just full on white powdery crap in there. Well, the plastic has deteriorated really badly, and there were kinks and cracks all over along here, so there's no chance that I can stick it into my gas and oxy, and use it again. So I had to go and shop for a different hose. However, in Australia, there's the two big companies, right? The House of Jewelry and Australian Jewelry Supply. They're located in Sydney, and that's where I used to go to Australian Jewelry Supply to get many of my supplies when I was in the jewelry trade, because they were a little bit cheaper than House of Jewelry. House of Jewelry was just such a rip-off. But now, because those two companies merged, that I found out not long ago, maybe because the economy is hard now, so the market is they're pretty suffering. Not actually suffering, but yeah, they're not making decent money. So what I did was I checked online, and they had these hoses. Okay, they had the original Smith's hoses, brand new. For one color, 1 meter would be $30. So if for me needing 1.5 meters each, that's just ridiculous. Who's gonna pay? Well, some people do pay for it because they want the best of the best, but for me, nah. I try to think of something else, because I'm on a budget. I'm trying to get some funds just to start up my hobby at home again. Because check out, I'm missing a peg for my desk here, and my rolling mill that I got from Vietnam was just it's just a mess. It's not even worth buying. And so for $30 a color, for just one color, it's just a rip-off. And going on banggood.com, reading the reviews on the fake one, they said it was really good, and some people say it's even comparable to the original, or maybe even better. So I just dived in, paid $42.20, getting this imitation over. However, because when it just came out the box, right, I checked it out and I had a feel of it. I really didn't like it at all. For example, the knobs here, how you turn on the gas high and low, it's so stiff. I don't want to build any more thumb and finger muscles as it is. Whereas the original one, it's more manageable. It's more smoother, softer on both colors. And yeah, so that put me off straight away. The making of this hose here, you can see it's being casted. It's not machine made at all. And the internal is just shocking. I'll show you very soon afterwards. Whereas the original one, it is machine made. It looks like it. I could be wrong, but it looks much better, and the feel is also much better. But I'll show you the internal of it. This is a one-hand job. It's a bit tricky, but yeah, it was hard for me to connect the hose from the imitation over to the original one, the original Smith's torch. It works, but as you can see, like I didn't do a smooth job. I didn't have the right tools, and I had no idea how the factory put it in together. So I just did a home job, and it's tight and secure. It works. Well, I hope it works. I don't have a LPG gas to test it out yet, but it went in pretty tight. This is oh, by the way, cause in Australia, right, I took this in ordering an Australian version. It came with this. However, this is too small to fit into that regulator as well. So then I had to use the original one, and then use that instead of this one. And yeah. But let me show you something. Where these two tubes are for the gas and the oxy, they've used some kind of adhesive there, alright? And these two tubes are thicker than this one. As I was pulling this out, what happened was like I kind of snapped it off one of them, because I don't know, like just I didn't use that much of a force, it's just some twisting, and then I managed to snap one off right there. This is the other piece that came with it. It goes in something like that, and as it snapped off, what I realized here, it was stuck, it was glued by arrowdite. For those that don't know what arrowdite is, I'll show you. This is arrowdite. You got one of each. You mix it together, and then after that, you just after you mix it, you put it on something, stick it on there, and it will glue. And this is what people use for gluing pearls to your metal, earrings, pendants. You know, you just use arrowdite to glue it in. However, yeah, if you can see it properly, you see arrowdite along the rim there. This tube here is thinner than this one as well, thinner than the original Smith's little torch. This here, where you put the nozzle in, it's pretty tricky, but let me try this. When you put it on, right, it doesn't feel comfortably secure. Like I can tighten it like this, as how much I want. I don't feel like it's secure. You can feel it, just a touch of a wiggle. I believe those who are using this, they need something like this, for example, and then you tighten it up with your pliers. However, I don't really like this technique. I'd rather just use, you know, put it on by yourself with your own hands. It's faster, and I've been doing this way for many years in the jewelry trade. And there you go, it fits like that. Whereas this one, I'll tighten it up to the max as I can. Still doesn't feel that secure, but look at all the, what you call it, the thread there, it's just hanging out. Compare that to the Smith's one, it fits perfect. So you get what you pay for. I mean, this is $42.20, whereas the original looking at about $180 and above. So you pay for the quality. Yeah, what else do I have can I say about this? Well, when you look at the little hoses, right, I mean the little what you call it, tips, the fake Smith little torches, there's a really bent curve there, whereas the Smith's one is just a bit more, I don't know what's the word, but you can see it. Yeah, so before I was even thinking about getting this fake Banggood one, I was checking on YouTube. I couldn't find much information about it. But so after destroying this and using its hose for the original one instead of buying a new hose, I'm pretty happy about it. Like for $42 I paid for a pair of hoses. I know what to expect in a fake Smith little torch. I wish I could use it with a flame, but yeah, because I just can't believe how this here would be good. I mean, maybe if it was working perfectly, it might just be just as good at this as the Smith's original little torch. But the quality of it is not something that I would like to use for a long time, even because sticking this with arrowdite in there, you know, this being so thin, yeah, and the tip here doesn't feel secure enough. That already put me off. Well, I'll just show you this quickly. This is the box that comes with a fake one. You can see the picture is a little bit blurry, but it's a good try. This is the original box of the original things, and the pictures are much more clear. Yeah, so if you do own one of this, the imitation one, or you have used it before, if you can, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, I just want to know about it. If it is what it is in the reviews, how people have said it to be. But yeah, I'm just gonna stick with my original Smith little torch. The reason also why I like it using the original, because of these things, I don't know what you call it, the knobs. I like to use, when I solder, what I realize is I like to use one hand to solder instead of two. Okay, let me tighten out, just show you what I mean. A lot of people use this technique, just more control. So as you turn on the heat, right, you set your flame, and then you control the oxygen. You can go low and high as you solder, you know. You're going high, and then like large flame, and then when it's starting to heat up really well and you want your solder to run, that's when you turn it up high, you know, like you can move the oxygen around so you control the flame. Just one hand operation, and the other left hand of yours, you're using your tweezers, controlling the metal, and blah 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 blah. But anyway, that's it for my blabbering. I hope this helps for those who are looking at the imitation or the original. Like if you have the money, please get the original, because the quality you're paying for, the safety of it. For me at the moment, because I'm on a budget, I'm trying to save money for more tools. That's why I just had to decide to go for this imitation. I was hoping to use it for a little bit, but I accidentally busted it. And with the hoses, this is the original one. See how it's nicely materialized, and here this is the other one, and it's just not as great feel, not as great looking compared to the original, but I think it still does its job. I mean, if it's gonna last you 3-4 years, well, it lasts 3-4 years. I just don't want to pay a ridiculous amount, $30 for a meter. That's just ridiculous, man. But anyway, see you next time.